Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. In today's video we are going to be making what is commonly known as a multi-stitch peyote cuff. In my tutorials and my videos, almost no matter what we do, so if we're doing these or we're doing charms or we're making candy clowns, I just say we're doing a peyote stitch for the ease of everything. This is called tubular peyote stitch because when we start, we essentially build in the candy world, a candy single, and we build off of that. That is what makes this a tubular peyote stitch. Now, when we are doing our flat charms here, this is called an odd peyote stitch because the row ends off in an odd number. And these types of cuffs are called an even peyote stitch because the row ends in an even. These ones are not considered tubular because we are not building it around in a circle. We're essentially building one big piece around and then stitching it together from there. So that's kind of where your difference is. This is another good example. This is technically called an odd peyote stitch because this is just multiple odd peyotes that are just sewn together to make a 3D shape. Now, with all the technicalities out of the way, we are technically today going to be making a tubular peyote cuff. Now, for this video, I am going to be showing you essentially the bare basics of how to build these. Because once you kind of get past a certain point, it's consistently the same thing until you are ready to tie it off. So I'm gonna show you probably about maybe like 1 or 2 rows. And then from there, I'll have you pause the video and then play once you get to your desired height, and tying it off again is all going to look the same. For example, this is a tubular candy cuff that I was traded at Escape, and this one is taller. Now, I am going to be showing you guys, if you would like to follow along, a swirl pattern, just because I'm a sucker for swirls. So we're gonna be doing that today. I will not be giving the measurements because everyone's wrist size is different and the height is going to be different. I am going to tell you to measure with your heart. If you are concerned about running out of string, cut more than you think you'll need. If you are running low on string and you're not 100% sure, cut a minimum, and worst comes to worst, you just tie more string on. All right, so to get started, we are going to be adding on an even number candy single. It can be as large or as small as you'd like. If you're following along with me for a little swirl pattern, essentially we're going to be adding 2 beads of one color, 2 beads of another color, and you could stop here if you wanted, if you just wanted it to be 2. For me, I'm gonna do 3 because I like the look of 3. You can do as many as you'd like. Just make sure that your candy single ends off in an even. So we're gonna go ahead and build this up. Now, as you are building, I would take your candy single and place it on your wrist and see how it feels. So for me so far, it is way too small. I'm gonna add on a few more beads to go ahead and fill this out a little bit more. And I'm thinking for me, this is gonna be perfect. So, if you are still building yours up, feel free to pause and then play when you are ready to tie. All right, now that we are ready to tie, we are basically just gonna take these 2 tails and tie them together. Now, we are going to give this about a medium tug. There is no way I can physically tell you what a medium tug is. We're not gonna tie it like, yeah, and we're also not gonna let it, tie too loose. Just kind of want to smooth in between. This just takes time and practice to kind of find that perfect sweet spot. If this is your first time doing this, you might not nail it the first time, and that's okay. It takes time to practice. So for me, I prefer a lot of stretch, just because when I'm doing trades and stuff and just getting it over my hand is a lot more comfortable. However, you can run into issues building up your first row by doing this. But, you know, we risk it for the biscuit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the small tail. She's no longer of use for us. And we're going to go ahead and start building up our row. Now, for the people who are following along with me, the rule of thumb, whatever side your string is sticking out of, for me, it is sticking out of a green, is the color we're going to add next. So I'm going to add on a green. Now, we're going to skip this middle bead, and we're going to jump over to the neighboring bead. And then we're just going to take our string with our bead on it and pull. Now, making sure that we try our best to keep this up. We want to make sure that our string doesn't like intertwine and lock in on itself, because then as you start to build up, the bottom part's going to look a little wonky. All right, we're going to go ahead and add on a blue because my string is sticking out of a blue. We're going to skip this middle bead here, jump over to this bead here, and pull. And we are going to continue this going all the way around. My string is sticking out of a yellow, so I'm going to add on a yellow bead to my string, skipping this middle bead and jumping over to our green bead. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add on a green bead. I'm going to skip this middle bead and jump over to the next bead. A blue bead, and I'm going to skip this bead, jump over to this bead here. Again, I really want to make sure that these beads stay up the best we can. Go ahead and add on a yellow bead, skipping this bead, jumping over to the next. And pull. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to continue this until we get to the very last step here. Okay, so I am coming up on the last bead for this row. My bead on my string, I'm going to skip this bead, and I'm going to still jump into this neighboring bead here, but I'm also going to go up. So just like how we were doing before, and then I'm also going to go through the bead that's diagonal from it, and I'm going to pull. All right, now we're gonna go around again, and for the people following my pattern, it's still the same thing. My string is sticking out of a green, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a green bead on. We are gonna go ahead and weave over into this blue bead sticking up. And essentially what we're gonna be doing from here on out is filling in all of the gaps. So my string is sticking out of a blue, so I'm gonna add on a blue bead and jump over to the yellow. I'm going to go ahead and add on a yellow bead and weave it over into that bead sticking up. And we are going to continue this pattern going all the way around. until we get to this step here. Okay, so for me, I'm coming up on the last bead for my row. I'm gonna go ahead and add on my yellow bead, and I'm still gonna weave over into this green bead here, but I'm also gonna weave up through the bead diagonal from it. So again, we're gonna go through this bead here and up through this bead here. Okay, now you could stop here if you'd like, if you just want something small, but I'm going to go ahead and build mine up a few more times. Like I said, I want a row of 3 and a row of 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and build up my rows. I will start filming when I'm ready to tie this together. I would recommend pausing the video until you are ready to tie this off. Okay, so I have finally completed my desired height for my cuff. Now what I'm going to do is just because I like the stretchy, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna kind of pull this a bit to release some of the tension on this string now that everything's built up, and I'm just gonna do this on the cuff a handful of times. We're gonna tie this off, and tying it off is as simple as we're gonna take our string and we are going to weave it through right there, through no beads, just in between 2 beads. And I want to make sure that for me, my string is in between this blue and this green, or if it helps, it needs to be in between a bottom and a top bead. And then this is going to create a big loop. I'm going to take my string and I'm going to pull it through the big loop, and that will tie it off. And I'm going to do this about 3 or 4 times. If you are using plastic string, you should use a little bit more ties. And now with this completely tied off, I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the long tail, and ta-da! You have your very own tubular peyote stitch. And these are really fun to layer up. I really like doing these as like a fidget because then they like kind of connect like that. I don't know, it's silly, but I think it's cute. If you guys have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave them in the comments below. Your feedback really helps this channel grow. I'm also going to put my email up here. Sometimes you guys like to send me pictures of the creations you make when using my tutorials, and I like to put them at the end card of the video. Alrighty, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye-bye!